Inner barriers to success, AI insights. Imagine this. You're on the verge of an important project. Everything is set for a breakthrough, and suddenly, you find 1,000 reasons to delay the final step. A talented athlete gets injured just before a major competition. A promising manager quits their job a day before a promotion. A musician cancels their dream concert due to a sudden illness. A programmer accidentally deletes the project's code right before its launch. Sound familiar? Analyzing millions of such stories, ancient texts, and modern research, and artificial intelligence, have discovered an astonishing pattern. People often unconsciously become their own biggest obstacle to success. What's even more intriguing is that the fear of success can sometimes outweigh the fear of failure. How does self-sabotage manifest? Let's start with the unexpected. Self-sabotage is far more subtle than we usually think. Yes, there are classic forms: procrastinating on an important project or, accidentally, being late to crucial meetings. But there are also more sophisticated forms. Perfectionism, disguised as a pursuit of quality, but in reality, paralyzing action. Modesty, that hides the fear of growth. Endless preparation that never leads to action. Sudden loss of important files just before a deadline. Accidental deletion of an almost completed presentation. Interestingly, the closer a person gets to success, the more elaborate the forms of self-sabotage become. A successful entrepreneur might suddenly make a reckless decision that destroys years of work. A talented artist falls ill before an important performance. A writer who lands a dream contract suddenly loses the ability to write. It turns out that self-sabotage operates on 3 levels simultaneously: biological, psychological, and spiritual. Most of these processes are unconscious. We often don't even notice when our defense mechanisms kick in, and only later, looking back, can we identify patterns of self-sabotage. On a biological level, everything begins with the limbic system, the brain's ancient survival center. When approaching success or potential failure, it triggers a cascade of protective reactions. The amygdala compares the situation to past experiences and releases stress hormones. The hippocampus activates old traumas and failures. The hypothalamus affects the body through hormones, causing physical reactions: rapid heartbeat, muscle tension, difficulty concentrating. Example: a student preparing for an exam feels intense anxiety, even if they are well prepared. Their brain interprets the situation as a threat, activating defense mechanisms. These ancient systems once protected us from risks but now often hinder growth. On a psychological and social level, we face a complex mix of fears and resistance. At the core often lies a basic fear of failure, amplified by the fear of the unknown and loss of control. One vivid example is imposter syndrome, a deep belief in one's incompetence despite obvious achievements. I don't deserve success, I'll be exposed soon, I just got lucky. These thoughts are especially common among talented and successful individuals. Often, we find ourselves pursuing goals that aren't truly ours but are imposed by society, family, or cultural expectations of success. This creates an internal conflict. We spend energy chasing goals that, on a deeper level, don't resonate with us. Example: an employee striving for career advancement suddenly realizes their goal is to meet their parents' expectations, not their own. Social fears add to this. Fear of envy, fear of losing existing relationships, anxiety about success changing one's social circle. Success demands adopting a new identity, taking on greater responsibility, and meeting others' heightened expectations. All of this creates powerful internal resistance, often unconscious. On a spiritual level, profound questions of self-identity intertwine with questions of purpose and values. A fundamental conflict arises between the desire for growth and the need to maintain humility, between ambition and serving others. A person may question the meaning of success. Will material growth hinder spiritual progress? How can one balance developing their talents with avoiding arrogance? These contradictions often become an unconscious cause of self-sabotage. Example: an artist dreaming of success fears that recognition will make their work less authentic. For centuries, humanity has sought answers to these questions. And here's what we've found. Science reveals the biological roots of self-sabotage. The brain perceives any change, even positive ones, as a threat. Neural pathways create stable patterns, and changing them requires significant energy. Evolutionary psychologists explain that standing out in a group was once dangerous for survival. Successful individuals attracted predators and competitors. This ancient defense mechanism is still activated when we approach success. According to science, the solution lies in gradually retraining the nervous system in a safe environment. Philosophical thought delves into deeper causes. Plato spoke of the fear of leaving the cave of familiar existence. Nietzsche described the inner struggle between the will to power and the fear of one's own greatness. Existentialists emphasize that every step toward success is a step toward greater freedom and responsibility. Sartre called this the burden of freedom. People often unconsciously choose comfortable suffering over the discomfort of growth. Philosophy offers a path of conscious acceptance of this freedom and responsibility. Buddhism, through the concept of dukkha, suffering, explains how attachment to success becomes a source of suffering. The craving for results, trishna, and the fear of failure create pain. The solution lies in the middle path, acting mindfully without attachment to the outcome. Christianity associates success with pride. A person may sabotage their success out of fear of falling into pride, mistakenly opposing material development to spiritual growth. The solution lies in a proper understanding of humility. It is not a rejection of developing talents but using them not for pride, but for service. Modern psychology integrates these perspectives, showing that self-sabotage is a complex defense mechanism shaped by evolution, culture, and personal experience. Jung wrote about the shadow, Freud explored resistance, and neuropsychology examines the brain's role. All of this highlights the profound nature of self-sabotage. The key takeaway: self-sabotage is not an enemy but a part of our nature that can be transformed. An intentional approach is crucial. And now you might ask, what should I do when my head is spinning from all this information? What truly works? Analysis shows that only an integral approach, considering all three levels, biological, psychological, spiritual, is effective. Let's explore each stage in detail. The first step is verifying the authenticity of your goal. This isn't just a question of, what do I want, but a deeper exploration of your true motives. Here are 2 exercises to help. Exercise 1. Whose desire is this? This helps determine whether the goal is genuinely yours or influenced by others' expectations. Follow these steps. 1. Take a piece of paper and write down your goal. 2. Ask yourself, if no one ever knew about this achievement, would I still want it? 3. Close your eyes and imagine you've already achieved this goal. What do you feel? 4. Write down all your feelings without censoring them. 5. Now the critical step. Recall when this desire first appeared. Whose voice expressed it? Exercise 2. The deep why. This reveals your true motivations for pursuing a goal. Follow these steps. 1. Write down your goal. 2. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Write the answer. 3. Take the answer and ask, why? Again. Do this 5 times. 4. Pay attention to physical sensations with each answer. What do you feel? 5. At which question do you feel resistance or discomfort? That's a key point for exploration. If these exercises confirm that the goal is yours but something is holding you back, continue exploring yourself. If the goal turns out to be someone else's, consider whether it's worth pursuing further. The next step is creating a map of self-sabotage. This isn't just a list of behaviors but a detailed exploration of your patterns. Ask yourself, how does resistance manifest? At what time of day do defense mechanisms activate? What situations trigger sabotage? Which people or circumstances act as triggers? With answers to these questions, you can create a personal action plan, develop habits that lead to success, and overcome self-sabotaging patterns. We now move to working on 3 levels. Biological level. Bodywork is important because the body stores all emotional trauma and limiting experiences. Stress from change first manifests physically. Physical reactions often precede conscious awareness. Practices for the body. 1. Grounding technique 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Name 5 things you see. Name 4 things you can touch. Name 3 sounds you hear. Name 2 smells you can sense. Name 1 taste you experience. Perform this slowly, paying full attention to each step. Breathing exercises. Technique 4, 7, 8. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale for 8 seconds. Perform at least 4 cycles. Practice at the first signs of anxiety. Psychological level. Psychological work is crucial because a new identity triggers deep anxiety. Success changes all social connections. Fears block forward movement. Practices for the mind. Dialogue with your inner saboteur. Imagine this part of yourself as a character. Ask, what are you afraid of? What are you protecting me from? Important. Don't judge. Listen with genuine interest. Write down the dialogue. Gradual expansion of the comfort zone. Define your current comfort zone boundaries. Identify the next small step. It should be so minor it barely causes anxiety. Practice this step consistently until it becomes comfortable. Only then move to the next micro step. Remember, abrupt exits from the comfort zone cause strong body resistance. Spiritual level. Work on meanings is necessary because success touches on deep questions of purpose. Old beliefs shape reality. Value conflicts can block growth. Practices for spiritual growth. Meditation on values. Dedicate 20 minutes of quiet time. Ask, what does true success mean to me? Observe all images and thoughts that arise. Write down insights. Rewriting your narrative. Describe your journey as a heroic quest. View each obstacle as a lesson. Find meaning in every failure. Regularly revisit and update your story. Remember, systematic integration of all practices is vital. For successful work, it's essential to create a supportive environment. Develop rituals for preparing for change. Implement a micro-reward system. Find a support network. Celebrate your progress. Keep a success journal, mark small victories, and regularly reevaluate your goals. Concluding today's exploration, here's the key discovery. Self-sabotage isn't an enemy but a wise navigator that sometimes overdoes its efforts to protect you. When it appears, it's a sign that you're on the verge of important changes, ready for the next level, and your life is poised for transformation. Ancient wisdom and modern science agree on one thing. Overcoming yourself isn't a battle but an art of integration. It's about turning your defender into an ally. Now, when you feel resistance, you know it's not a defeat but an invitation to grow. What signs of self-sabotage have you noticed in your journey? How have you used them for growth? Share in the comments. Your experience could help others see opportunities in obstacles.